Welcome back to the Bolts Breakaway. Last week, David covered for me. Now I'm covering for him as our boy just got married. He's not going to be here next week either because of his honeymoon, so we're just really stoked for him at 10 Tampa Bay. I know you are as well. Before he left, he actually talked wedding advice with Tyler Motte. I discussed the playoff picture for the Bolts, and let's get into another insane Nikita Kucherov week as he pushes for that Hart Trophy. Time to jump into the lightning round. This is everything you need to know about Bolts hockey at the moment. Tampa Bay plays its final road game of the regular season in our nation's capital at 5:30 against Washington. The two squads have split the season series. This game certainly means a lot more to the Caps, who are battling for that final wild card spot. As for the week that was, the Bolts were piping hot for a while, and now they're kind of going through the motions a bit. Against Pittsburgh, the team was sluggish for 2 periods before exploding in the third, coming back from a 4-1 deficit just to lose in the final minutes. They beat Columbus 5-2, but that was a tie game entering the third period. Finally, they lost to Ottawa in a shootout. It's nothing to really be concerned about. It's just one of those things where they are stuck in the standings and they are waiting for the postseason to begin. If the playoffs started today, Tampa Bay would play the Boston Bruins. It's a similar scenario to the one we talked about last week. Boston has 3 games left to play. The Panthers have 2. Both play today, and there is a shot that Florida can jump Boston for that top spot in the Atlantic, but the odds are not in their favor. If the Bruins win 2 of their final 3 games, they'll clinch that first-round matchup with the Bolts possibly beginning a week from today. We'll also know in 5 days whether Nikita Kucherov captures his second Hart Trophy. The Bolts scored 11 goals these last 3 games, and Kuch had an assist on 8 of them. He has 5 straight games of at least 2 points. On Thursday, he reached 60 primary helpers, making him the 4th player this century to accomplish the feat. He has a whopping 141 points and is 2 apples away from reaching 100 this season. Everyone in that locker room tries to describe what they're witnessing from him, and ultimately, they're just as flabbergasted as we are.
Stand there every night, and I hope other people watch. Just how uniquely talented he is.
Yeah, I just got my 200th point, so he just does it. He's almost got that in a year, so no, it's special. It's not many people do it.
It's so dynamic. I mean, we spoke about him all year. He's unbelievable. Gives our team a chance to win every night, and it's a lot of assists, man. He's a heck of a player.
Entering the year, only 3 men in the history of the National Hockey League ever had 100 or more helpers in a season. Wayne Gretzky, who did it 11 times because he was a freak of nature, Mario Lemieux, and Bobby Orr. It's wild what Kucherov and Connor McDavid have been doing. McDavid is just 1 assist away from joining this list as well. In the last 7 years, McDavid has won the Art Ross 5 times. The other 2 guys, his teammate Leon Draisaitl, and of course the Bolts star Nikita Kucherov. Kuch is hoping to become the 16th skater in NHL history to earn the honor multiple times. With McDavid's recent injury issues, you'd think that makes the MVP conversation a 2-man race between the Bolts winger and Avalanche center Nathan MacKinnon. When arguing for who should win the Hart, there needs to be a general understanding that Kucherov and MacKinnon are more than deserving. Guys like McDavid, Artemi Panarin, and even Sidney Crosby would be great award winners in a different year. But I think what pushes Kuch over the edge is 1, this is arguably the best season ever for a winger. 2, the Bolts were a mediocre team for more than half of the year and only survived because this guy carried them, which leads me to 3. He's accounted for more than 50% of the scoring for Tampa Bay this season. And 4, he has 53 more points than the next guy on this squad. So while I respect MacKinnon, and he's certainly worthy, to me, not giving the Hart to Nikita Kucherov would be the wrong move. As for the 2-time Rocket Trophy winner, Steven Stamkos is looking like his 2012 self. His 6-game scoring streak was snapped against the Senators, but he has 10 goals in his last 7 matchups, including a hat trick against the Blue Jackets, the 13th of his career. If he can find the back of the net one more time, he will reach 40 goals for the 7th time ever. He also needs 2 more helpers to hit 40 in that category as well, something he has also done 6 times up to this point in his career. As for Braden Point, he is up to 45 goals. It will be a tall order for him to hit 50 in back-to-back seasons, but it's not impossible. He also has a shot at tying his career high in points with 95, as he currently sits with 88. Reminder, he has scored in 16 of his last 24 games. Now, for the troubling news, the number one priority for Jon Cooper the next 3 games is to keep his guys all healthy. A bunch of men are banged up, but Tyler Motte is hurting more than most after taking a slap shot off his right foot. Cooper told us yesterday Motte is day-to-day, which is great news. Seems like this puts him on track to play in the playoffs, but it might be doubtful we see him for the rest of the regular season. Before Tyler Motte got hurt and before David took off for his wedding, the two sat down for an interview in the latest installment of the Shootout. The boys go one-on-one about the Lightning locker room, marriage advice, and the importance of mental health.
All right, sitting next to one of the newcomers on the Bolts, if you need a penalty kill, call this guy, Tyler Motte. First of all, you've been a bit of a journeyman in the NHL. What is it about the Tampa Bay Lightning culture that has stood out to you so far?
Yeah, it's the leadership. A lot of guys have been through it all here. Have had success, have won, have gone on extended playoff pushes. Obviously, the veteran group that has been through that stands out. They're probably the core and the rock of our team. And then you got a great supporting cast. You got some younger guys that have come in the past few years. We've seen a few new D-men that have come up from Syracuse and done a good job. It's just the culture in the room for sure, and then it's just a really well-run organization, top to bottom.
You also got a fellow Michigan guy in Glendenning. What's that been like for you?
Yeah, it's been great. We reminisce a little bit. We sit next to each other on the plane. It was a fun football season for us for sure. Caught a few games. Lions made a run as well, so we were talking about that quite a bit. But it's great to have somewhat of a familiar face. We were at school at the same time, but we've been through a lot of the same things, and it's just another good guy, fun guy to work with.
All right, let's get to the real nitty-gritty stuff, all right? You recently got married. We just told you, look, I'm getting married in a little bit. Your experience, I need some help. What you got?
Your soon-to-be wife is always right. But really, it's about the day. It's about celebrating you guys. I know me and my wife look back, and it goes by so fast. Don't forget to eat. But it does go by so fast, and don't take any of it for granted. The stuff you're stressing over right now won't mean much. People don't care what cutlery you choose necessarily. But good food, good people, and just have fun and enjoy it.
Awesome. I'm gonna earn you a couple points here. How important and how supportive has your wife been on your journey in the NHL?
Huge, crucial. We started dating at the University of Michigan. She was a big part of supporting me and pushing me to focus on my mental health. About 5 years ago now, I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and she was a big supporter and motivator of me to take those steps to get the help that I need and still need. And still to this day, she's not only supporting me at the rink, but away from it as well, pushing me to be the best that I can be. The support she gives me is really second to none. And I wouldn't be here without her or my parents and my family.
Well, he knows how to be in the right place on the PK, and he says the right things too. Tyler Motte.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you, Tyler. 3 stars. Let's get our 3 stars. Third star. Let's go to Madison Square Garden, and this is one way to stop momentum. Flyers player Eric Johnson was jumping out of the penalty box when he accidentally attaches himself to the attendant's headset equipment. The ref stopped play immediately. Torts, who knows what he's thinking. So maybe more guys should start doing this. I don't know. New York lost 4-1 as the President's Cup is still completely up for grabs. For our second star, I'll give it to NBC Sports Chicago. We've seen this stuff on Nickelodeon for the NFL, but now the NHL is bringing animation to the game. It's the first ever local real-time animated telecast. What you were seeing was a power play goal from Connor Bedard, and now we bring it back to life. I don't know about you. I'm not watching any of this stuff, but my 6-year-old niece is very interested, so it's very good to see the kiddos get involved. First star goes to Sid the Kid, Sidney Crosby. The man is 36 years old and still putting up roughly 90 points per season. This week, he surpassed our beloved Phil Esposito on the NHL's all-time scoring list, moving into the 10th position. It's the first time someone has cracked the top 10 since 2008. Crosby also reached 1,000 career helpers. Pittsburgh sold around the trade deadline, and Crosby is doing everything he can to get this franchise back in the postseason. All right, checking out our Bolts picks records. I gained a game on David last week, meaning all I got to do is tap it in. Just tap, tap, tap-a-roo. We got 3 games to finish the season, so David still has a chance to win. I will go first. I think pride is on the line for both teams today. Capitals need this contest. The Bolts don't, but this is a good prep for the playoffs. So I have the Lightning winning today, losing at home against Buffalo before finishing the year on a winning note against the Maple Leafs. David sent me his picks before he left, and we only agree on Tampa Bay beating Toronto. Other than that, he has the Caps today, and then he's got the Bolts beating Buffalo. We will see what happens. Do not forget the puck drops at 5:30 tonight. We will have our final Bolts Breakaway show next week to prepare you for the playoffs. I'm Evan Closky. David Schiele is getting married in Knoxville and is off somewhere. This is the Bolts Breakaway. We'll see you same time, same place next weekend. More Bright Side coming up after the break.